Happy Saturday, Twin Cities, and welcome back for another inspiring Saturday with the Connect Show. If you're new here, each week we come together. We talk about all things with different boss babes that are killing it in your community. So I'm excited. But first, welcome to my beautiful co-host, my big sissy, Lash. What's up, girl?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So happy you're here today, and it's just us, right?
We're holding it down this week. Holding it down.
We got two sick boss babes that we're wishing the best. Michaela Club, allergies on fleek, and Allie Nanny is resting up after being under the weather for the week. So send them your thoughts and your prayers. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it, Lasha.
Yes.
You know, we're going to first start by acknowledging everything that's going on in Minnesota with the George Floyd trial that I have been glued to, girl, like literally every day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. I'm checking in and just seeing what's going on. And even though our hearts are heavy while everything is unfolding and we won't be able to talk all details each week, we do want you to know that we are on it. We are watching, and we do pray for all the witnesses, just everyone involved. So just wanted to start with that today. What do you have for us, Lash?
Well, I want to say, too, that sometimes I'm finding there are those of us that for our own mental health don't watch the trial. Yes. And so we need to do what's best for us and your mental health. I understand it's extremely triggering. So for that reason, I have actually chosen not to watch it. But I am definitely cognizant of what's happening via Facebook and my friends keeping me up to date. So you need to do obviously what's best for your mental health. And sometimes that might be not watching it at all. Have you noticed that there's just more people everywhere? They're on the road. I don't know if it's the weather or, people getting the vaccination. So they're feeling a little bit more confident about going outside. So I don't know. That whole transition back to normal. What are your thoughts on that? How are you handling everybody being everywhere?
Well, I'm excited. I literally hibernated for 300 and about 30 days last year, and I've never stayed in the house. I think all of us can say the same thing. I mean, there was no FOMO on hibernation in 2020. But, I do see, I'm watching the news, the flights are up, travel's up, gas prices are up, right? Because people are just ready to get back to normal, and it makes sense. And I think it's a combination of everything. It's nice that this, new normal or kind of a relaxation on what we are dealing with is coming in the springtime because the weather's nice and we're looking to have some fun. Well, post-COVID, what is one thing besides seeing your family, of course, Lash, that you want to do this summer? What are you excited for?
I bought a house last summer. If I have to be quarantined one more time in my little townhome with a little sliver of a deck, I was going to lose my mind. So I bought a house. It had an incredible backyard. And honestly, I bought the house for the yard. And so I'm looking forward to spending some time outdoors in my garden and just continue to make my home a place that I enjoy. Because I don't necessarily want to go crazy outdoors.
Yes.
And I will continue to wear my mask, although I did get my first vaccination. I have my second vaccination coming in 2 weeks.
All right now.
But I might hit up a concert or two with some social distancing and masks. I do miss live music and being outdoors for sure.
And how did you feel with the vaccine? Did you have anything crazy happen? Did your arm fall off, leg fall off for all of those outside at home?
I did feel like my arm was going to fall off. I chose the left arm for that reason because I'm right-handed. But I took some Tylenol, rested. I was good. So I was blessed. I didn't get sick or anything. So
nice. Well, now that the sun will hopefully be out more, I'm of course, thinking about skincare. And Lasha, we both talk a lot about this. And the SPF. Do you have a good SPF that you love or recommend? How are you going to be taking care of your beautiful skin as we get into spring? Yes, baby.
So I took the baby to Cabo. Well, my one baby, my oldest daughter, could not join us. But I called her and I said, what should I be doing? She's my go-to when I need help with skincare and certainly SPF. I'm kind of bad that way. I think being chocolate, I just assumed I didn't need it, right? So I learned that it does not matter the color of your skin, how much melanin you have in your skin. You still need to protect your skin with an SPF. So she told me to get something in the middle, like a 30. And so we either had I want to say there was either a 70 or a 20. So we were trying to
Mm.
find something in the middle ground.
Right. And I'm so happy you touched on that, Lasha, because I do know that a lot of my chocolate sisters, we think that you don't have to wear sunscreen. I don't, sunburn. There's that myth too, but dark skin can sunburn as well. But the SPF is not only about protecting yourself from being sunburned, but it's also going to protect you from skin cancer, and it prevents lines and wrinkles. And nobody wants those, right? Nobody wants lines or wrinkles. So yes, I learned a lot of that in Mary Kay, but I'm with you on that. Like and at 30, that's kind of what because I do want to have a little bit of, a little caramel, a little glow, right? A little glow, but not too much.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I did come back from Cabo a couple shades darker, but we did protect the skin while I was out there getting that sun in for sure.
I love it, Lash. I love it. Well, we have a packed show for you all today. Grab your coffee or your mimosa or your vodka and whatever you're going to put in it, because we are diving into it when we come back after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, the Connect Show, Twin Cities. We just talked all about how to get your insides right, feeling beautiful, right? Your self-care, the skincare. But our next guest is going to talk to you a little bit about what you can do on the outside to bring the glow to your face. Please help me welcome my Mayowa from Lash House to the show. Good morning, Mayowa.
Good morning.
So happy to have you here, and I gotta shout out this Black Girl Magic. I just gotta shout out all this Black Girl Magic on the screen. We are going to get on these lashes today, Mayowa. So I want to hear all about this academy, right, that you have created. I've been so excited to meet you. Lasha's been talking about your beauty and your excellence. We're honored. So tell us about how you created this.
So I started doing lash in 2015. I attended Aveda Institute of America, and for aesthetics. I really didn't know that I wanted to get into lashes. I just went because I just love all things beauty. I love facials, waxing, makeup, and I didn't discover lash extensions until the last day of my schooling there. And so I started in 2015, and I just kind of took a leap and just started doing it full time. And my business has grown. Then
you have laid on your table, honey. You have made me beautiful a time or two, so I can attest. Your work is amazing. I'm kind of a fly-by-night girl, and your books were so booked that you can't do that. You have to plan to get on Mayowa's books at the Lash House. Let me be clear. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Was it hard to create a business though, as a person that's relocating to the Twin Cities? Or did you have kind of a village here already kind of built in?
I didn't have a village, but I feel like it was easier for me to build a clientele here because no one knew me. So they couldn't judge me. They couldn't, they just knew the business. They didn't know me personally. And I think it made it a lot easier for me to make connections with people.
Lash, I love that you asked that, because so many business owners are watching. They're new to town, or they've been around for a while and they're having difficulties building, that following, that community that they need to offer services to. So that's fantastic to hear and encouraging for those that don't know anyone in the Twin Cities. As a successful business owner, what advice do you have today to give to other women out there that are thinking about starting a business, but they're afraid to take the next step? It sounds like you've been very brave and courageous coming to Minnesota to be great and do your thing. So what tips do you have for others out there looking to jump in the field?
I would say the number one thing I feel like is just to be confident in yourself, and have standards for yourself and your business right out of the gate. I think a big thing that people do is try to rely on friends and family to support their business when I just
Yes.
way to go about your business. I think it's just important to figure out who you're trying to serve and work on serving them. Don't worry about who's not supporting you. Worry about the people that are supporting you and how you can better serve them. I feel
one thing that I saw just last week, Mayowa, on your page, you were speaking about how it's so important. The standards for how you run your business are very high.
Absolutely. I work too hard to get here, and I just,
Amen.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So where are you located? How can people reach you?
Okay, so Instagram is the Lash House MN. That's THELASHHAUS.
Oh.
MN. And then my Facebook page is the Lash House, and also I have another Facebook page. It's Mayowa at Lash Boss Academy.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayowa. I'm so glad you're with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Well, coming up next, I think it's safe to say we are all ready to get back to the party, back to the lashes and the beauty. And, you don't want to miss our next guest. She's the owner of Soiree Events, Tonya Coleman. She's an amazing boss babe, partnering with the biggest companies out there. She's providing a fusion of graphic design and event planning services to deliver the best of both worlds. She's next.
Marketing for local businesses is critical, but it can be pretty confusing. At Vivial, we work with you to understand your business and individual marketing needs to tailor a custom design solution so you can focus on what you do best, running your business.
Want to learn more about Vivial's digital marketing services? Find us online at vivial.net/Natalie.
Welcome back to the Connect Show, Twin Cities. Our next guest literally does everything from event planning, graphic design, coaching, party styling, and so much more. Lasha, help me welcome Tonya Coleman from Soiree Event Design to the show. Yes, girlfriend.
Hey, so excited to be here.
Oh,
Welcome. So Natalie mentioned just some of the things that you do, but you wear so many different hats. And how are you balancing all of that? Because you not only make it happen for small businesses, you also work with big brands like Mattel and so many more. How are you doing it?
Well, first of all, I'm a mama 5. Must I say more? Okay, that's a lot of hats, honey. Okay, so you already know. And I started my business as a single mom. So we learned how to time manage a long time ago. Okay, and then you just pile on the kids and all their schedules. You just learn how to be the jack of all trades, and you learn how to do everything really well. So it's kind of come easy, but not with too many bumps in the road.
Well, I'm just excited to pick your brain. I love talking to boss babes. You are the ultimate boss babe. You've done graphic design for some major celebrities like Jamie Foxx, Mariah Carey, Magic Johnson. Was graphic design your first focus when building Soiree?
It was. I actually started my business in Atlanta, Georgia as a single mom. I literally had my infant son on my hip when I went down there, and I started it as a graphic design firm and just
Mm.
blew that up and grew it and grew it. And I was working with lots of record labels down there, lots of celebrities, and then moved to LA and hybrided the company then into both offering graphic design and event planning. So yeah, it started off as graphic design.
Talk about collaborations, because we're all looking to collaborate with brands beyond us and even the top. So what do we do to make that happen, and how did this happen for you?
Yeah, so collaborations is everything, especially for us. We, as women of color, we don't have all the opportunities just laid out in front of us. We really have to utilize our relationships and who we
Yeah.
know. And for this particular one, that went against all of it. I didn't know anybody at Mattel. I didn't know
Mm.
anybody in this brand world. But what I
Right.
did have was a very strong work ethic and a desire to make sure that every single thing I did shone like gold, right? So I made
Yeah.
sure that, because you never know who's watching, right? And in my
Yeah.
case, Mattel was watching. I'm like, what the heck?
Wow.
Watching little old
Girl.
me? Girl, I was like, oh, okay. And so they were like, oh, we are loving what you are doing with our brand. We would love to bring you aboard and to style exclusively our Monster High and Ever After High brands. And it was like a match made in heaven. So I always tell my students, do your best work always. Only put your best work out there for the world to see, because you don't know who's watching.
That's so good. I don't even have to. I can skip that next question, because I'm gonna ask, how do we get them to see us? But one thing I heard you say as well is that you were using some of their brands, and so
Absolutely.
they recognize that as well. All right. So as a party stylist, one of your focuses was looks for less. What are some tips
Mhm.
for throwing an amazing but inexpensive party together?
Yes. So I have lots of tips for that. And one of them is when you're styling candy tables. So you've seen those big candy
Yeah.
tables when you walk into a party, it's like the woo when you walk in. And so girl, it will put you in the poorhouse real fast, because M&Ms are real expensive. Okay, when you're trying to fill a jar about this big, right?
So
And so
true.
one of my tips is, you want to keep the color palette the same, make it look uniform and pretty and match the theme of your party. But instead of going for those really expensive small candies, go for the inexpensive big candies. So I would
Mm.
fill a jar, like say I'm doing a princess themed candy table, and instead of going and getting the pink M&Ms, I would go and get $1 bag of pink
Mhm.
marshmallows and fill that whole jar up, because it
Ah,
would take me $50 in M&Ms to fill that same jar that I
so
just filled
true.
for $1 with a pink bag of
Mm.
marshmallows. And then just use the more expensive candies in smaller containers along your table. So that's a huge tip that could save you a lot of money.
I've paid hundreds of dollars, maybe even up to $500 for just a candy deal
Oh yeah,
for my daughter's birthday party. And it's just like, that's genius. I love that. So
so expensive.
Tonya, what's next for Tonya Coleman? I know everybody is ready to work with you. Everybody wants to know how to level up their parties. With the world slowly opening back up, right? So we've got
Oh,
graduation, all the things. How can
yes.
people find you?
Well, I'm really excited for Party World to open up. Let's just start there. And when it does, honey, we are going to be in such high demand, because we are tired of celebrating in quarantine. We are tired of all the, ways we've had to celebrate on our own. We are ready to
Yeah.
gather with our friends and families, right?
Yes.
So I am excited to train up and coach up fellow women who are doing this as a love. They just love it as a hobby, right? But they're giving their
Mhm.
time and talent away for free. And I'm like, later for that, like, you could be making money doing this. And let me show you. Let me show you
Yes.
how. So I would invite, if you are doing parties right now for your friends and family and you're not charging and you love it, your parties are amazing,
Mm.
come holla at me. We have a school. We
Yes.
just opened up the doors. They're open up until next Sunday. So you still have time to
Yes.
get in. I've made the course as low as I possibly can. I call it pandemic pricing. So get in now while you
Hey.
can. And you're right, who you learn from matters, right? So vet me as much as you want. Come on into the fold, and I will share everything I know with you. And you can start getting that paycheck for those parties.
Prime time. It's time to work with prime time people. Tonya,
Yes.
thank you so much for spending time with us today. And when we return, the conversation continues. I hope Lasha finds her way back to me. She's restarting her router. We got internet issues, but guess what? We will be at the table with Tommy Vincent coming up next. And also, much later, we're crushing it with Christy. We'll be right back.
You are at the table with Tommy Vincent, where there is always a seat reserved with your name on it. Hopefully you had an opportunity to join us at the virtual table last week, where we leaned into I will be authentically me. We're going to forge ahead this week and go to another affirmation from the You Will, and that is YOUWILL. I will love all of me. Say that with me. I will love all of me. In order for us to love who we are, 100%, everything that we bring to the table, we have to remove the fear and the doubt. Perfect love casts out all fear. This week, I'm grateful that we're going to take this journey and you're going to venture into your heart work. So I want you to make sure that you're following along with the Stay a While podcast. I want you to make sure that you're following us on Instagram at Stay a While Show, and join us for our weekly lives that take place on Monday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Remember, life happens at the table, so please meet me there. I look forward to speaking with you next week.
Welcome to Crush It with Christy. Christy Primer coming to you, talking today about cash flow. Now, all of us women in business have desires in our heart for a reason. And one of the things that I do at my company, Primetime Consulting Services Incorporated, is teach women how to elevate their confidence, make better connections, and bring in that cash flow. So I have 3 tips for you today. First thing, be more you. Put more you into your business. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. Research has proven it time and time again. Second tip, get into the energy of the sale. I do a lot of sales training, selling a service. Do not be quiet about what you have to offer. Do not minimize the greatness of what you have to offer. Step into the abundance of expectation of the sale. The third tip is be out there, connect, share your product, tweak your messaging accordingly, speak to your ideal customer, figure out who that is. I have so many different tips about stepping into the energy of abundance in my latest book, Confessions of a Self-Care Junkie. These are 3 practical ways that you can elevate that cash flow, because we love talking about money, honey. Thanks for joining me today. I will be back next week with even more tips to help you crush it in business and life.
Well, welcome back, Twin Cities. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with Tonya and Mayowa. So that's just step 1. We're going to have our lashes. We're going to have our party. We're going to have our masks, Lash. We're going to have everything, right? This summer. I'm so excited. So I love this next topic. You're going to get into it. I didn't know this, but it makes sense. Did you know that there are seasons within your business?
I didn't, but when I thought about it, it made sense, right? After I was kind of reading through some of the things, researching. But that's right. According to Growability Model, there are 4 different seasons of your business. First season, you learning what to do, right? Then you get into your second season, launching that business or product. Third season, leveraging and maximizing what you're putting in. And finally, the 4th season, or the legacy stage, right? Enjoying fruits of your labor, all that hard work that you've been doing. So how important is it for you to be aware of what season that you're in?
You know, I love this. Michaela's our producer for the show, and she is so good at coming up with just interesting topics. So this growability model, I don't think I knew that there was a name to it, but it, like you said, it makes sense. And I think that if we are aware of the season we are in, we will respect the journey much more, right? It's easy to look at somebody over here, somebody over there. We always talk about staying in your own lane. But once you recognize your season and that there are 4 seasons, I think you'll respect your hustle differently. And I feel like right now I'm in my 3rd season. First season, I've been in that season, learning what to do. Second season, launching the business or the product. We don't launch. Boom, here we are. The third season, I'm in the third season, kind of walking my way into this fourth season. And we talk about it all the time, getting help, not self-sabotaging your business and your brand. And it might not be all mental. It might be you not getting help, you not having, all the things. And Lasha, I've watched you, and this is a running joke with Lasha and I, because Lasha's been a realtor since I was in high school, I think. And
Ever.
And since I was a little girl, I remember my parents having Lasha's picture on the refrigerator, and 20 years later and now my mom even is on the joke, we still have this picture of Lash on the refrigerator, so we always laugh about that. But I'm curious to hear about the season that you're in, and have you noticed growth in all of these different examples as growth
Right.
set forth? Yeah.
Well, so for me, I was like you said, been a realtor forever. I'm coming up on 19 years as a licensed agent, but I left the market when the industry crashed in 2008. I lost everything. I'm talking 3 houses, the house I lived in filed bankruptcy, and I had to start over, right? But this is something that I knew was my dream job, my passion, whatever, and it just kind of worked out. 4 years ago, I returned to the industry. So when I think about the season that I'm in, the first thing that comes to mind is that I do think I'm also in that like third to fourth. I have a team that we run, the Signature Group.
Hey.
And we are doing amazing. Like we are at least top 5. In the last quarter, we've been top like 1 to 2. So we're definitely doing well, but you don't want to get too cocky, right? It's like, I don't want to get too comfortable saying that I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. I am, and I do have a lot of business that I wake up to, and it's just there. But you have to also continuing to leverage and maximize, or the well will dry up.
And Lasha, that's what I love about you. I look at you as a big sissy, and I had to like stalk her to get her as a host on the show. Okay. Trust and believe it. She was not just easy to find. Okay. Well, she was, but I was not on her list like that. So I had to call somebody that called somebody that called somebody to tell them, listen here, I need Lasha on the show. Love that about you, that you are willing to share. So, speaking of growth, have you heard of this term? And this makes me think of you because you have all your green leaves and everything growing all over your house. Lots of plants. You love it. This term, plant. Someone
I'm
who
a plant.
Girl, when I saw the script, I said already, Michaela, because you are speaking Lasha's language. And this means that someone who treats
those are my babies.
You treat your plants like your children. And this trend is all about being plant positive, bringing plants into the home. Lasha, have you heard of this?
I have not, until our research is speaking. And I was like, oh,
that's me. I love it. Super funny. Well, we hope you're parenting at home. It's warming up. Things are getting a little bit back to normal, and we're excited for it all on your Saturday morning.
All right. So if you are enjoying all of this Girl Boss magic, catch all of the past episodes of the show on our YouTube channel. Binge watch them Netflix style on Natalie's Network.
Yes. And don't forget to join our membership. You can get all this Boss Girl magic every day. Register at theconnectonline.com.
Thanks so much, Twin Cities. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.